my honor, more than a pleasure, to invite the next speaker. Not because she is the only female speaker today, but because she did a lot of things in her young age. Dear ladies and gentlemen, Saltanat Shamshiyeva.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, let's check if it's working. And actually, how Alibek already mentioned, thank you. Yeah, I'm the only one female who has actually tonight decided to present something. And the weirdest point is that they didn't tell me to tell about happiness or what makes me happy. Actually, they said, okay, we would like you to come to TEDx and share with us some ideas or some experience that you have had before. I said, fine, let's see what I can do. And I'm working currently at Career Advising Center at this university, and lots of students, actually, most of them were coming to our office and asking, okay, yeah, we would like to have an internship soon, or get us the best job ever, and all other things, because we're studying at NU, and we're competitive. And we were answering to them, okay, slow down a little bit, because before starting something, you need to prove to others that you can. And it is a main role that how you're gonna do, or how you can present yourself, and actually to make sure that in the current global world, we need to make sure that we are competitive. Even the students that sit next to each other, you need to know that the competition somehow plays the main role nowadays. Okay, if we're gonna, I think it's better to be like that. Yeah, here it is, where it comes from, this competition or the word itself, the history, the definition. I decided not to focus on that, but just give you a simple picture examples, right? If we're going back to nature and asking some questions from nature, where is the competition comes from, or how we can see it or measure it. We can see, for example, simple animals as a lion, king, fighting to be the first one and actually to lead his whole family. The second thing is, again, they're fighting for their territory. Again, animals, they're showing somehow who is the leader or who is the better. And the simplest one is actually how we can see the sunlight, right? Why I put it exactly this picture? It's a tree. We all know the tree when they're growing up, and actually they're growing and more because of the sunlight, and they're striving for that. And if the tree is somehow weak and doesn't have enough water, or I don't know, the ground is not so good, which means not so good trees will just stay or maybe even die. And the ones who can have more strength, they can grow higher and will have all the sunlight. Coming back to that point, one question that we all can think about, because I was quite a lot thinking about exactly competition. Actually, even before we were planned to born, we were already been participating in the competition, if you understand what I mean. Wait. Yeah, that's what I mean. Who's gonna be first? Which means all of us already did a huge step before coming to this world. Afterwards, we're starting to, because of our talents, we are quite beautiful, we can sing, dance, and we're super small, but still our parents see the potential in us. And that's why they would like, okay, dear daughter, maybe you would like to participate in some activities or some beauty contest. Let's go and see what we can do together. And parents, not realizing that they are somehow already preparing their child to the competitive world, and somehow to know that if you will win in first place, maybe you can get a huge cake, and if maybe you get just third place, it means you need to work more in order to next year to get this huge sweet cake. The same goes to the talented, right, children who are interested in different chemistry, math, and all other things. They just would like to do some experiments, and at the end of the day, teachers, society around them make sure that they would like to participate in different Olympiads and win the contest and show what they can do. And if you can realize, it's all of this about the competition, and that they would like to do their best, and they see that they can do it. Afterwards, it's a current situation where all students, we've been students, you are now students, and you are thinking, okay, what I'm gonna do next, and what actually I am doing now, who am I gonna be in the future, what I need to do. A lot of these questions that are now stuck in our mind, and we're still looking for finding some answers to these questions. But don't worry, that's why we are all here to share our ideas and finally somehow to help to all of us, to each other. And it goes, at the end of the day, when you thankfully graduate finally, you will face for your first interview, job interviews and hiring committees, lots of things, when the real competition will start to work. Coming back to my personal experience, why I was somehow, actually I passed through all these stages and realized that the competition is still one of the drivers or one of the tools to succeed at the end of the day, or to somehow at least to make yourself satisfied. And I've been working for ISEC. I'm not sure if many people heard about this international non-for-profit organization. It's almost more than 60 years in the world, and more than 110 countries are in that organization. That would be a totally different topic if I will tell too much about ISEC. Later I can share with you. But I spent 5 years in this organization, and at the end of the day, I've been a president leading this organization in the whole country in Kazakhstan and managing more than 200 people in here, students. I will show you the little flow of ISEC, how it works, and actually how it teaches you and gives you this chance to be maybe for 1 or 2 steps higher than other students. At the beginning I was just not an ISECer who just heard about it and decided, okay, that's something interesting, we can go there, at least I will improve my English and meet some other foreigners. And then, I joined the organization. It was quite not so easy, let's say, because of all the stage. And what they started to do with us, they started to give us 2 different projects that you need to organize, you need to be responsible for this project, or just participate in the conference, give the content of the conference, or organize some funny events or events that need to be official. You are learning, you are facing some fails, but at the end of the day you have second chance. That's the better point of this organization, that they give you the second chance and you can show that you learned something and at the end of the day you achieved your goal. Again, ISEC has different opportunities as your own career. You can build up your personal career as becoming a vice president of the organization or president of the organization. It's still up to you. And at the end of the day, it's a leadership roles, right? Leadership, again, it's a totally different topic to discuss, but still, it is how you are showing your leadership potential and what kind of success and what kind of impact you can bring to our society. And at the end of the day, and I'm very thankful for that, for the international opportunities that the organization gives, that they're all the time trying to give you opportunities to go to conferences, to Congress, and participate in different things. And the last one, it's leading the organizations that I mentioned to you before and being a change agent. Almost all my 5 years, I've been a volunteer there. I spent 2 years, 1 year being and working in Switzerland, because they invited me there to be a part of a vice president of finance, which gave me a huge experience. And at the end of the day, I realized that money is not important when you are doing your job or doing whatever project you are. You just need to dedicate yourself 100% and just need to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, you will be super competitive because you like what you do, not because how much you get paid for that. Yay! And then I just started actually currently almost 4 months here at Nazarbayev University, my new experience, already with background being in ISEC. That's one of the things. And during the major things that I've learned during my ISEC experience, when I graduated actually my university, I decided to dedicate 2 more years for this organization because it clearly teaches you how to fail and never give up. I mean, in a sense, you can then try to stand on your board, to stand and do what you want to do. And that was one of the good things that afterwards I decided to do. When I was telling you, I joined ISEC in Switzerland, I spent almost more than 1 year in there, and I was managing there more than 300 students who were really appreciated. At the beginning they were thinking that I'm Chinese, and then they were like, that's a Kazakhstan, okay, but why do you speak Russian? And almost all these interesting questions. But at the end of the day, I was the face of first Kazakhstani person that they've seen. And that's what I think that organization gives you to see different lots of opportunities. And at the end of the day, be competitive in the market. That's one of the conferences that we used to have. Everything was in the baby steps, small steps, and that's one of my teammates with whom I used to work. What is next? Because competition back to my time when my parents were growing up, they were telling to me that competition mostly was received to us as something negative, as a negative word, giving maybe not such a good influence because, okay, being a competition. We know that's a clearly point, but this healthy competition is still a point of discussion. People are doing lots of research on that, what exactly it can be and what it actually cannot be. Because someone is agree that competition can be healthy, but others are not. But still, it is possible and it exists. But please keep in mind that healthy competition is good, but elimination of your competitor is not the only option you can have. That, okay, I will destroy them, I will not give them the chance, maybe I will organize something else. Please, no, forget about that. Because competition is one of the interesting things that could happen, because it, at the end of the day, motivates you to do something more. Because when you're a child, back to school, back to your university, just remember that it's all the time was someone else who was studying as you did. They were studying the best, they were receiving the best grades too. And at the end of the day, you were, okay, here is just now A+, why I cannot do that? I will do that too, and I will read more, and I will achieve my goal. And it's all the time fun when you have someone with whom you can somehow, not as an open, but with whom you can compare, and with whom you can compete. Because at the end of the day, it means it brings more interest in your journey, and you can do more things. And you have much useful things rather than stressful or getting too much nervous. I prepared some of the tips can help to our students currently, and that you please think about that before now you're starting to apply for the job, starting to apply for an internship, before being really competitive in your market, because soon you will be graduates. You need to keep in mind all the time your personal development. Doesn't matter you're a student now or you're already a very good, important person, businessman, but still it is a life cycle all the time to learn something new. And personal development, it's very something important, and it depends, it can include your hobby, what you like to read, what you like to watch. All the things can be at once. Or professional development. Professional development, which means, I hope you understand, right? Your spheres that you're doing, and it doesn't mean that through all your life you can do only one thing as a professional. You can do many things, it just depends on your willing and your ability. The second suggestion somehow from my side would be, as being a competitive, playing fair with yourself and with other competitors with whom you're going to do all the things. And afterwards, being very patient and hardworking. Because in order to be competitive and in order to know your price, you need to know so many things, and at the end of the day, you need to be aware, okay, and you need to be confident, which means you need to spend lots of time on working on your personality, working on your professional side, working simply with society around you, and at the end of the day, it will give you a huge success. And the last one is just the several points. Do what you like to do. Then, work for experience, not for money, as I mentioned before. Read, listen, watch news. News is something that's somehow, sometimes not so interesting because we're young. Okay, something is happening, something is not. But, okay, someone can agree with me, but someone cannot. But still, that's my own opinion and my own experience. At the end of the day, be a part of the team. Try at least once in your life somehow to work in the team and see, are you a team person or not? Because at the end of the day, it gives you a huge form of who you're going to be and with what you're dealing. And for sure, one of the things is traveling. Traveling, I think it's a better thing. What can happen with me before this year. I've been almost more than, I know that more people have been in more countries, but in general, the ICs that give me an opportunity, I've been already more than in 20 countries in 3 or 4 years, which I think when you are young, you can do it because it's much easier and much interesting. Coming slowly to the end of my my presentation. I just have small few things to remind you and really say my appreciation for all of you for your interest and for involving us to this kind of important event. It's just, if you want to compete, get ready for 100%, and if you can, for 101%, because at the end of the day, it's you who are willing to deal with your life, and your life, as was mentioned before, is on your hands. Remember, the competition is one of the journeys get to your goal. Yes, it is somehow in us, in our genes. But if you don't like to be so much in competition because someone doesn't like this kind of stress and all these things, but still, it's one of the journeys that at the end of the day brings you happiness because you meet different people, you get to know different people, and never perceive competition as something negative because it's not. Thank you a lot.